All right, welcome to episode 3 of the Ball Boy podcast. I'm here with one of my boys, Drake Maye. It's a pleasure to have you here. I just want to go ahead and introduce him a little bit. He's the quarterback, obviously, as most of you probably know, at Chapel Hill. And he's got some high hopes for this season. He had a great season last year. You had over 4,300 yards, 38 touchdowns. By every measure, a great season. So I'm really excited to have you here, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, appreciate it having me on, Lucas. Pleasure.
Yeah, of course. So let's just get right into it. I wanted to talk about college football to start, obviously. So in high school, you went to Myers Park. You were a very sought after recruit, right? What was it like through the recruiting process? You know, like there's a lot of teams that want you. It's a good feeling, right? Like you go through that. It's everyone likes to feel wanted and to feel loved. What was that like?
No doubt. Yeah, I think especially crazy thing about just high school. I think one of my first offer was from Tennessee. My freshman year. Just kind of surreal. With the chance to obviously go to college and play football on a scholarship. Just crazy to think about. And then just kind of from there, kind of from that point on, I kind of felt like I could probably pursue this and try to play in college. And then from there, had a good sophomore season when I first started. And it's kind of rolled on. One of the few things, that you kind of, forget about recruiting. One of the coolest things is like going to these places and comparing all the different ones and going to these college football on Saturday, these games. I was at the 2019 Alabama LSU between Joe Burrow and Tua.
Wow.
That was back when I was committed to Alabama. That's a different story. But just at the end of the day, I think just finding who wants you, like you said, who wants you and who it's not really where you want to go with this, is who wants you the most and where you feel like you could, whether you want to play early on or where education matters for you, and at the same time closest to home. So a lot of factors play in, and obviously with my family history.
I was gonna say there's one factor you're not talking about.
Yeah, my family history is obviously an obvious factor, but at the same time I think North Carolina is a great place to play football, and there are a bunch of places out there that do it different ways. So just kind of whatever fits you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What was that like with your older brothers? Let's talk about your family a little bit. Your parents went here, right?
Yeah, both
your
my parents went here.
And one of your brothers, Cole, went to Florida, right?
Yeah, he's the oddball. So all.
Yeah, but he won a state championship there too.
Yeah, he won a national championship. Yeah, he won a national championship.
The success is still there.
He was he left his final year, his senior year in high school. He left his spring semester, kind of like early on in football, where we leave after fall, after winter, to like graduate early. He did the same thing in baseball, but baseball they play that year, and ironically enough, he left his senior year of baseball, and that's when they won national championship. So
he wasn't on, or he was on the team, but
yeah, he's on the team
there. Oh, wow.
No, he was there. So he chose to forgo his senior year of high school baseball and decided to.
Oh, you're talking about his senior year of high school baseball to be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow,
it was
that's
a tough
incredible.
decision, but it obviously ended up working out.
Yeah, that's great.
Winning the national championship with those guys, so it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, what was it like? Luke was a very known. I would say he's like famous here, right? He hit some big shots.
Yeah.
Bo plays on the basketball team here. Is there a lot of pressure, or I guess not now, but was there a lot of pressure in high school? Like you walk around. Obviously, you're confident in your abilities, but when that's the people that have set the standards above you, it can be, it can get to you, right?
No doubt. I think, I think my parents did a good job not really making it pressure. Obviously, my parents were both athletes, and obviously Luke here. But at the same time, they just wanted, kind of let me do what I love to do and wanted to do. So they were really good about that, not kind of pressuring us into, just because Luke and Cole, went to college to play sports doesn't mean y'all have to. You can find whatever interests you. They did a great job with that. But at the end of the day, obviously there is a little bit of pressure between the brothers. Seeing like they've been pretty successful.
Competition, yeah.
Yeah, just competition, and obviously sports. It is like the glue. For our family really, and it's been a big part of our lives. So, just found a way. I chose a sport that neither of them played. In high school, I was the only one that played football in high school. So
you play basketball too, though.
Yeah, I love basketball. But I think football, ended up probably being the right choice.
Of course,
looking back. But just finding what interests me and what I feel like I could go pursue and play at the highest level at.
Yeah. So we'll talk about college a little bit. So you get here, sit behind Sam for one season, right?
Yeah.
And then you play last year. You had a great year, and it was fun to watch. Even though I go to NC State, you guys are a rival, but I mean, you guys were a great team. It was definitely enjoyable. But I don't know. I was wondering a couple things since I'm not on the field, so I can't really tell. But is the competition in college football way more challenging than in high school? As in, like, maybe not more challenging as in, like, oh, I can't do it, I can't beat this person, but, like, is the competition noticeably better?
Yeah, I think 100%. Kind of that first couple practices when you first get to college, you kind of it's just fast. It's just faster, and all the best high school players. Remember in high school, you realize someone's committed here to play football. Just imagine like all 11 on the field, or those dudes in high school, and now they're coming together in college and playing. So it's definitely kind of a learning curve. But at the same time, Sam, like you mentioned, Sam, he stepped right in his true freshman year.
Exactly.
Started his first game.
That was unreal, yeah.
And won his first big game against South Carolina. And then, just from there on out, he was a great mentor to me, great friend. He's been awesome. But I think there's definitely adjustment. I think it's for a lot of kids, just the independent life in college. On top of caring with your schoolwork and caring about football. It's a lot. I think it wasn't too much of an adjustment for me. Obviously because I had older brothers who's been through it.
I feel like that helps.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And having my brother Bo, you mentioned he goes here, so having him there with me. So just I feel like I had a lot of people around me that kind of knew what they were doing and experienced it. So that kind of really helped me.
Yeah, you mentioned South Carolina, how Sam stepped in. He took them down, right?
Oh, yeah, he took them down.
But a couple years ago, they took you guys down, right? They beat Sam after that. I know it wasn't you there, but you guys open up the season with them, right? You can get revenge. If you don't beat them, they might start calling themselves the real Carolina.
I know, yeah.
Right?
They're calling it the Battle of the Carolinas.
So, how big is that game, right? It's the tone setter for the season.
For sure, yeah.
And, whenever a team beats you, it feels a little better to beat them, even if it wasn't you playing. So, how big is that?
Yeah, I think, the way we ended that year, it was Sam's last year in 2021, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, it didn't feel right. I think we didn't play our best, didn't put our best foot forward, for Sam, his going out kind of game. I actually got in at the latter part of that game, the last few plays I got in for like, I think 3 or 4 plays. But yeah, just starting off on the right foot. You make a good point. It's a tone setter for the season. Obviously, it's college game day.
And it's in your hometown, right?
Yeah, in the hometown. We haven't played well in Charlotte there the past couple times. Against Clemson, we didn't play well. Against South Carolina, that's the past 2 times we played in Charlotte. So just hometown, going to be a lot of family and friends coming, but more importantly, just for what we've been working on for this off season. Us as a team, we want to get back to the ACC championship,
of course,
and prove we belong there. And that's the main thing we've been focused on. Getting back, and I think this is a great game to start. Working towards that goal.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you mentioned Sam, right? How that was his last game. I want to talk about Sam a little bit. Is it normal for UNC quarterbacks to not eat chicken, or is that just Sam?
Yeah, I think that's just Sam.
Right.
I'm a big fan of steak. I think I had a steak last night for dinner. So
I'm messing with you, yeah.
Sam's a little bit, he's a little different. Obviously, is
a bit of an oddball.
Yeah, a little bit oddball with his food taste, but at the same time, obviously working for him.
In all seriousness, though, like how is that relationship with Sam? Has he helped you to prepare for this upcoming season? And I would imagine that he helped you last season.
100%.
Getting through the ups and the downs, keeping your head straight.
100%. He's been there always. One of the first things. Coming here and kind of being in his pocket, following around, and just kind of seeing what he does, how he approached it, how he approached, football, how he approached life, how he approached caring about people. I was just trying to be right there, trying to take everything in from him.
For sure.
I think the big things I learned is how he prepared for games, how he prepared for practice, what he cared about, off the field, and obviously
it's always great to have a mentor. I mean, there's no one that can tell you, like no coach can tell you the knowledge that someone that was literally on the field a year prior, and someone that cares about you too. You guys are good friends.
Exactly.
That's the best way to learn.
Yeah, it's priceless. Like I said, it's he's the one out there doing it,
exactly,
living it, and with all the attention and with all the blame if our position doesn't play well.
Exactly.
So now everybody feels that.
Yeah.
I think Sam, he's the epitome of how he handles himself,
of course,
how he cares about creating relationships with people. He's a strong faith, and it was a blessing to be able to sit behind him, for a year and just kind of soak it all in and learn what I can. I think it really paid off.
Yeah. Was there ever did you ever have any doubts in high school or in college? I know in college the media is on you a little bit more, and sometimes you can feel like the weight's crashing on your shoulders. Did you ever have any doubts or?
Yeah, I think one of the kind of first times, where I kind of started, not really doubting myself, but just rethinking. My senior year, obviously our class, we're in the same year. We went through COVID.
Yeah.
So that fall, our football season got canceled, and that spring I graduated early and missed my senior year of high school football. So then I sat another, sitting behind obviously one of the best quarterbacks in Sam. I sat two total years without, really playing football.
Yeah.
Definitely getting real life snaps.
I mean, that can be tough.
So it was really 2 years without getting hit. Getting tackled.
I didn't even think about that.
That's
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Just 2 years of, kind of not losing, kind of losing sight of, if I can still play. Or,
yeah, is that scary?
Live bullets.
I feel like you get used to the hits that you take a lot. Football's a violent sport. I didn't even take that into account. Now that you mentioned it, though, that's interesting. That's a good point. Like, what goes through your head when you're like, oh man, I got to get hit by this 300-pound lineman again? It's been 2 years. Only person that's hitting you in those 2 years is probably your older brothers.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's crazy.
After the first few, you kind of get used to it, but at the same time, like you said, after 2 years, not really getting hit at all. The last time I got hit was a junior year in high school.
Yeah.
And the point of getting hit by big dudes, college, defensive linemen, linebackers, is different than getting hit by some of your high school buddies.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that definitely plays a role. That's definitely an adjustment, but kind of once you get after those first few hits.
And you mentioned your faith earlier. Did that help you in a time like this? I just want to talk about that a little bit. I think we both have that in common, at least. I don't play football, but
no doubt. No. Hey.
Yeah. How has that helped you through your journey? I talked to Sam earlier, and he was telling me how that was a big part of his life, and throughout football, there's a lot of highs and lows, and that can keep you grounded just in life, right? How big is that for you?
Yeah, it's huge. Sam, like you said, you just mentioned a lot of highs and lows. I think, faith and your relationship with God is something that can be constant, and oftentimes we're so busy, caught up with college life, football life, and media, and one of the college life itself, you just kind of lose sight. You can lose sight and get losses. College, independent, living on your own.
Yeah.
You're not with your family back home, going to church every Sunday, and
exactly.
And kind of in routine. So just having to find that relationship just with you solely on if you want it, if I want to pursue it, and just be constant and make it a part of my daily life. And it's one of the big things. I think one of the best things is Mitch Mason. He's been our chaplain on the football team. He's gone through this disease that's basically eating away his own body, and he comes in every day and
smile on his face.
Yeah, smile on his face, and you just kind of realize those type of people are the ones in college that kind of
awesome.
Put that in perspective. And also just having my brother here, my girlfriend, they're obviously strong faith, and try to make it to church, and
I love that, man. That's
go
awesome,
to Bible study and the football team. A lot of things that I just try to incorporate and remind myself that that's at the end of the day, football and schools. I think that's one of the big aspect of my life and very important to me.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. So I think something that God has in store for you is the NFL. I think that's your next step.
I hope so. Yeah, we hope so. We gotta play well. But.
Yeah, ideally. So yeah, you will, man. You will. You'll be all right. But I want to talk about a couple things about the NFL. Is there a team that? So you grew up, I'm guessing, a Panthers fan, right?
No doubt. Yeah,
but they just drafted Bryce Young, who's an incredible player, and I think he's going to be really good. Is there any other team that you would just dream of getting drafted to, or was it Carolina, and that's kind of just now it's just you're just excited to get in there?
Yeah, I was obviously a huge fan of Cam Newton. Kind of in our years, whether it was middle school.
Was that the guy you looked up to?
Yeah, Cam Newton was my favorite. Going to watch him. My family had season tickets. Watching him every Sunday. Especially that 2015 MVP season was unbelievable. Other than that, I think playing in your home city would always be awesome. With the Panthers, obviously they drafted, a pretty darn good quarterback in Bryce. Yeah. So really any team, that I'm just kind of any team for me, blessed just to hear my name if I get drafted or whether it's undrafted or just get a chance to get a shot. That's kind of what and you always, wish for the warmer cities, whether it's Tampa or somewhere like that, or New Orleans or Miami, any of the warmer settings. But I don't really have a preference. I play up there north.
I wouldn't mind seeing you in Miami, man. I wouldn't mind cheering for you there. Finally get to cheer for you.
Exactly.
Now we're not rivals anymore. Yeah. Better not go to New England, though. They might need a quarterback soon, so let's hope not.
I'm open to whoever you give me a shot.
Yeah, that's exactly the mentality to have. I wanted to ask you, I think most people remember Carson Palmer when he was on the Bengals. Or no, not when he was on the Bengals. He was on the Cardinals. and he was coming to the end of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a former All-Pro quarterback, and he's I think he's 15th all-time in passing or somewhere in that range.
Was it really?
That was your pro comparison. I did some research before this. What do you think about that? You think it's accurate?
I think Carson, the way he threw it around. Obviously, I'd like to say I'd throw it around, but he's a great player.
Yeah.
He was with Cincinnati before, and he went to Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. I think I flipped him up.
Yeah, no, he was with Cincinnati in his latter years, parts with the Cardinals, where they went to Super Bowl and stuff. He was awesome to watch. Great player. The way he threw it around. A better athlete than people give him.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of tough comparing yourself. What you want to say you play like.
That's true.
I probably some of the guys now, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, those guys, Herbert.
Tua?
Guys, yeah.
Tua?
Tua, yeah, a little bit. Some of the bigger frame guys that I like to say are good athletes. I try to, say that, I'd like to say that I play like them, but at the same time, those are unbelievable players playing at the highest level. So just try to, take, aspects of their game and try to play it and give and take that into mind. But at the same time, I think Carson Palmer, you can't, it's not something I'm mad at that they're comparing.
Yeah, no, of course
He's a great
not.
player, and he did some great things in the NFL.
Is there a guy that you purposely try and emulate your game after, whether that be through watching film or highlights, who knows, or anything? Is there a guy that comes to mind?
Yeah, I grew up a big Aaron Rodgers fan.
Okay.
So watching him, I think, the Jets, watching him on Hard Knocks is pretty cool, seeing how he interacts, on a day-to-day basis. But he's such a special, talent, the way he throws it around. One of the best, throwers of the football you can probably ever play in this game. So
no doubt.
I like to say, I try to watch him, but he's on a level, an extreme level. Other than that, like I said, the guys I mentioned, Josh Allen, Herbert, those 6'5", 6'4" guys that can move around and make plays. I like to say those guys just because they're taking the NFL by storm, and they're winning football games. That's another thing. They're winning. That's a big thing. In the NFL, make sure you're winning games. That's important.
Is there a team you think's gonna win it all this year? I've been asking. You're the third person I've had on here.
Yeah.
I asked both of them for their predictions. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Who's coming out of the AFC? Who's coming out of the NFC? You just listed 3 AFC quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think takes the crown?
I think it's hard not to go with Patty and the Chiefs, but I like to take it different. I'll go with the Bills this year. I think the Bills. Josh
Oh
Allen
man,
get
no
it done.
Dolphins?
No,
No
about the Dolphins. I don't know about the Dolphins. If Tua stays healthy, they got a shot. But at AFC, I like to say the Bills. And the NFC, the Eagles are playing. They played so well last year.
Darian picked the Cowboys. What do you think about that?
Really?
Yeah. No?
I don't know if I could get behind that. I think they're always hopeful, and they'll start off good, but they end up
That's
struggling in the playoffs. I usually feel like.
Yep.
NFC. Who else we got?
The Lions. They're a dark horse.
Lions.
Jack, I'm trying it again.
I don't know
Lions.
about the Lions. I think Jared Goff, the way he played last year was pretty special to watch. But I don't know if I can get behind any. I think
The Eagles again.
Eagles.
Running it back.
I'd have to say the Eagles.
They're ridiculous.
There's some teams kind of on the lower bubble. You never know with who knows. Sam, man, Sam can get it rolling. They got a good defense.
Dude, yeah.
Sam's a game changer.
Potentially. Yeah, I got a lot of confidence in Sam, man.
Definitely, I definitely think they could shock some people and make some noise in the playoffs.
No, I don't doubt it. He's looked really good too. He's looked really good, yeah.
The AFC's, the AFC, a lot of good teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks are a sleeper. They've got a good team. They played well last year.
Yeah.
Basically, whoever gets hot at the end, I think that kind of plays a role.
So I wanted to go back to college. I forgot to ask you because I'm very interested. Who was the best defense you faced last year? Overall?
Yeah, last year. I think Notre Dame is hard to see. I think they put us on it. They put it on us. They blitzed us. They brought some.
It's not what I thought. I was expecting an SEC team.
SEC team.
You guys played one, right? Who did you play? Texas A&M.
We played Oregon in the bowl game. We played Clemson. I don't think we played an SEC team.
Oh wow. Okay.
We'll
So
play
I'm thinking of the year before
this
then.
year. But yeah, we played Sam's last year. They played.
That's what I'm thinking. Never
South
mind.
Carolina.
I got my
But
years
last year, obviously Clemson, they did a nice job against us. They mixed it up on us.
Clemson's always got a good defense.
Clemson or Notre Dame, I think I'd probably say just well coached,
Sure.
disciplined, not going to beat themselves, not going to blow coverages or blow assignments. So I think those two teams.
Was there a particular player you played last year? I'm interested that really really stood out to you? Was there a guy, whether that be a corner or D lineman,
Yeah,
the best one of all?
that's a good question. Obviously you go throughout the week and you highlight kind of the star, game changing
Yep.
players on the defensive side. I think one of the Notre Dame defensive ends was a real good player. I think it was Foskey or something like that along the lines. I know he wore number 7.
There you go.
He was a good player. He's about 6'5" defensive end.
Big dude.
I don't know if he may have got me once, but I tried to stay away from him. And then other than that, Miami had a couple safeties that are good players.
Bubba Bolden, I
Yeah.
think. Is that his name?
Bubba Bolden.
I think he just got to the league now.
Yeah, he's with. I don't know who's with
Browns.
Browns.
I think. Yeah.
He may have been. I think Sam. I remember Sam talking. He may have been Sam's year. But they got I think a couple safeties. Cam Kitchens. I'm a friend of his, and then they got another 6'5" safety back there.
6'5" safety.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Jeez.
I think his name's James Williams, maybe. I think that's his name. But
Maybe.
Some great players. You about to see 2 or 3 guys every week that you kind of highlight. And
Cool, man.
Clemson
Yeah.
had Trenton Simpson from Clemson. He's a linebacker. He went to the Ravens.
Trent Simpson. Yeah. I
So
know who
he's
that
from
is.
he's
very
from Charlotte. So he's from the crib. So
Oh, yeah.
So some guys, a lot of the guys. They're good players, but definitely faced some good players.
Good. Cool. Yeah. All right, bro. Well, I need to check your UNC knowledge.
Yeah.
All right, your true Tar Heel. So I brought some trivia questions, and we'll say if you get 3 of these 4 right,
All
we'll
right.
call it a success. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready.
We're gonna start off. Who was the quarterback in 2015 when UNC football went 8-0 in ACC games, and they had a very successful season overall?
Marquise Williams.
Correct. Wow.
That's
Okay.
my boy,
That's a good
Marquise.
start.
Marquise, that's my boy.
You know him?
Yeah, he's a big fan of still watching the Heels today. He's one of the great Tar Heels, great player. I went to that ACC championship that year they went and played Clemson. I was
That's
at
a
that game.
high-scoring game.
Yeah, Marquise, he's a good friend and obviously great player here.
Yeah.
If I got that one wrong, I wouldn't be.
He wouldn't. He might see this and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. 1 for 1. Who were the last 2 UNC football players to get drafted in the first round?
In the first round.
Yes.
Who?
One of them's kind of easy, I think.
Obviously, first coming to mind is Trubisky.
Okay,
He
got
was second pick. I'd say Trubisky. I think Javante was at almost first round, maybe started the second.
He was early second.
He was early second.
You're close.
Giovanni Bernard, I know he was, I think, almost first, maybe second.
It was more recent than Bernard. It was an
More
offensive
recent.
player.
Offensive
Skill
player.
position. Big boy.
I know it wasn't Hakeem Nicks. He's probably too late.
I think he went to the Lions.
You're talking about Ebron.
There you go.
Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron's the man.
There you go.
I see him around. He's an awesome dude. Yeah, so Eric Ebron.
We'll give it to you.
I
We'll give it
probably
to
should
you.
have known that.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. Let's go way back. When was the last time? No disrespect intended. It's just
No, you're good.
it's for the question. When was the last time UNC football won the ACC championship, and what NFL legend was that team led by?
Yeah, we always talk about last time we won it, 1980.
There you go.
LT Lawrence Taylor.
There you go.
He was one player of the year. So we always it's kind of a reminder of how long it's been since
You guys
we
got
won
it on a bulletin board.
Yeah, no,
So-
we should. It's always a reminder. It's been 42 years, going on 43 years since we've won it. So had a chance last year.
Is this the year?
We'll see. We're hoping for it. That's what we're working towards. So
Okay.
we're gonna.
All right. I left the hardest one for last. All right. You ready?
All right.
Who holds the record for most passing yards in a season at UNC?
It's gotta be Sam.
No. Look at. I was messing. I didn't think this was actually the hardest one. It's you, bro.
Are you
It's
serious?
yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
Golly, is it really?
Yeah. You.
I guess Sam.
I think you broke Sam's record actually last year. So congrats.
I think Sam's touchdowns maybe.
Maybe.
I mean,
Sam definitely has. Well, Sam has the record for all total.
Oh, no.
This was in a single season.
Oh, single season?
Yeah.
Really? Is it me?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we threw it around a lot.
You're just
last
being
year.
humble. You knew it.
I would have guessed Sam.
Yeah.
Especially 2020 season, and even 2019, they threw it around.
You threw it around last year yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Don't short yourself.
I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah. Well, you went 3 for 4. It was solid.
I should have got Eric Ebron. That's bad.
A little bit of hint. You got it eventually. Yeah. Cool, bro. Well, I had a great time. I wish you the best of luck this season. I'll be watching you. I'll be cheering for you, man. I can't cheer against you.
Yeah,
but
that, man.
I think God's got something special in store for you, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I had a great time having you on.
Thanks for having me on, man. I think anytime you can talk with a friend, I don't even treat this as an interview.
No,
really.
yeah,
it's conversating.
No, I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Good people, and just thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. And go Heels.
Heck yeah. All right. I will see you guys on episode 4.